Bucks in 7. Bucks in 7. Did y'all see Game 5? This was arguably one of the best playoff games you'll ever see. It had every aspect of basketball you could imagine. This game was wild. Man, we're gonna call this Game 5, aka the Jrue Holiday game, because he played amazing. I'm finally glad that he took over a game in this series, because especially after Game 1, it seemed like he was playing for Phoenix for the beginning of the series. But slowly but surely, he has stepped his game up. And no game more impactful than this one. From the points he scored in the first half to keep the Bucks around after the Suns stretched the lead out to much as 16, all the way up until the steal in the final seconds on Devin Booker and the alley-oop slam to Giannis to just seal the game away for the Bucks on the road. I mean, this was a pivotal game. I mean, of course, you expect Jrue Holiday to step up at home like he did in Games 3 and 4, but for him to take this on the road in Phoenix against that hostile crowd and show the skill level required for many people, many analysts to consider the Bucks to have a BIG-3 entering the season, when you talk about what Khris Middleton brings and, of course, what Giannis brings, this performance by Jrue Holiday was simply amazing. And to add, the performance by the entire Bucks team was amazing. From Pat Connaughton hitting timely threes, Bobby Portis providing a lot of spark off the bench, Brook Lopez getting timely rebounds, especially in late game crucial situations. And then let's not talk about Khris Middleton. Khris Middleton is clearly, if you didn't think so after this game, clearly one of the best 10 to 20 players in the NBA, because the way he's playing right now, he can be top 10. He can be top 10. You need somebody like Khris Middleton on your side, because this guy can just straight up shoot the basketball. I mean, he was hitting shots on people. He was driving, getting people off of him. He was moving around, getting open shots. He scored the basketball in every aspect you could in a basketball game, except for dunking the ball. I don't think I've ever seen Khris Middleton dunk, but he doesn't need to, because he's going crazy, especially in the second half. He had a big second half. He hit some big shots. He actually took the game over and was the Bucks for an extended period of time in the second half, while Giannis was catching his wind and Jrue Holiday was on the bench or focusing much of his attention on guarding Devin Booker, who went crazy. And I think if Chris Paul could have, had a better, impact on the game, I think the Suns probably could have pulled this out. But that wasn't the case, because Chris Paul, yeah, you can look at the numbers, double-double, scored 20-plus points, but he just looked out of it this game. He looked like he knew he knew that he just didn't have what it takes to, wield this team to victory. I mean, he looked like the smallest guy on the court out there last night. Defensively, he was being taken advantage of. Offensively, he was throwing uncharacteristic turnovers and not getting his team in the best position to execute offensively. It just didn't look good for CP3. He trended on Twitter all during the game because people just thought he was packing it in, or he just didn't have what it takes, or it just wasn't going to be his night. And it proved to be the case. Now, you can take some good away from this if you saw how big he stepped up in the waning moments of the games, the big shots he hit, the threes. to cut into the lead, to cut it to one, layups, the drives, the kicks. That was late in the game, but for the vast majority of the game, Chris Paul was, kind of a no-show. So, needless to say, my Bucks in 7 prediction looks mighty, mighty good right now. So I can get that dinero from the couple of poor souls who betted me when I called out Bucks in 7 before the series started. So, shout out to y'all. Hey, what can I say? The Bucks finally took their show on the road in the finals. They went up against a hostile crowd, and their big 3 actually showed up. All of them scored over 20 points. All of them did and showcased what made people consider them having a big 3. Jrue Holiday, offense, defense. Khris Middleton, clutch shots, offense, and some defense. Giannis Antetokounmpo, defense, dominating inside, dominating on the wing, facilitating. He actually played one of the better games I've ever seen him play in the NBA. It was more of a LeBron-esque game instead of a Shaquille O'Neal or, just straight downhill driving to the basket. He was actually facilitating, making good passes, not rushing things, looking for his teammates, knowing when to, make the extra pass so you can get a teammate a rhythm jump shot. So, this was one of the better games, and that helped him lock in offensively, because in the second half, you can just look at his demeanor. He was not the same. He was locked in, and everything he did worked. He showcased no flaw in his game. Even when he went to the free throw line, yeah, he missed some, but they were pure. There were some of them free throws that slapped them fans in the face, while they was doing the countdown, and they just splat. So Giannis, he really deserves credit for this game. We know we're going to call Game 5 the Jrue Holiday game. We can do that. But Giannis actually played one of the better games he's ever played.